Hello, my name is Ashley, and I'm going to talk to you today about George Washington as president. George Washington is remembered as the very first president of the United States, elected in 1789. He had already proven himself as a strong leader during the Revolutionary War, but his role as president was just as important because it helped shape the nation in the very beginning. I chose George Washington because I believe his presidency set the tone for how future presidents would serve, and his leadership still influences our country today. One of the most important parts of Washington's presidency was that he established traditions and precedents that other presidents would follow. Since he was the first president, there was no clear rules on how the office should work. Every decision he made, he would set an example. Washington created the idea of a presidential cabinet where he selected advisors like Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton to help him make decisions. This showed that the president did not rule alone, that he worked with experts and listened to different opinions. Other major precedent was his choice to serve only 2 terms. After 8 years, Washington voluntarily stepped down. He could have stayed in office much longer because the people admired him so much, but he refused. This sent the message that the presidency was not a lifetime. It was not a lifetime job or a kingship. It was a position to serve, it was this position to serve the people. Later, this transition became a law in the Constitution with this 22nd Amendment. Another important part of Washington's presidency was his foreign policy. In 1793, he issued the Neutrality Proclamation, which said the United States would not take sides in the war between Britain and France. This was a difficult choice because many Americans wanted to support France, who had helped us in the Revolutionary War. But Washington believed the younger nation was too weak to get involved in the Europe conflicts. By staying neutral, Washington gave the United States time to grow stronger, build its economic, and develop the stable government. His decision also showed that he wanted America to stay independent and not become tied down by other nations, wars. The choice was not always popular, but it provided his long-term vision for protecting the country. Washington also faced challenges inside the country. One of the biggest was the Whiskey Rebellion in 1794. The farmers in the western Pennsylvania were very upset about a new tax on whiskey. Protests turned violent, and it seemed like the rebellion could spread. Instead of ignoring it, Washington responded firmly. He called up a large group of federal troops and even personally led part of the way. Once the rebels saw that Washington was serious, the rebellion ended quickly and no major battle was taking place. This was a powerful moment because it proved that a new federal government had the authority and the strength to enforce its laws. Under the Articles of Confederation, the government had been too weak to handle problems like this. Washington showed that the Constitution gave the government real power, and he was willing to use it to keep order and unity. At the end of his second term in 1796, Washington gave his famous farewell speech. In this speech, he warned Americans about two major dangers. First, he warned against political parties. Washington believed that parties would divide the nation and make people put party loyalty above loyalty to the country. Even though political parties quickly became part of the American policies, his warning still feels important today. Second, he warned against forming permanent alliances with other nations. He wanted the United States to remain strong and independent and not get dragged into endless foreign conflicts. His farewell addresses showed up how much he cared about the future of this country, even after he stepped away from power. In conclusion, George Washington's presidency was much more than just being the first president. He built the foundation for how the office should work and guided the nation through the earliest challenges. He set an example of leadership, strength, and humility. His decision to remain neutral for the foreign conflicts, to enforce federal authority at home, and to step down after 2 terms, all proved his deep commitment to democracy. That is why George Washington remains the most important president in American history, and why his legacy continues to shape this nation today. Thank you.